My name's Caleb. This question is for the Honorable Jason Chaffetz. I wanted to ask you, also being there at UVU when Charlie was assassinated, how did that personally affect you? And also, how have you found strength in continuing to fight for freedom?
How do you find strength in the fight for freedom? I think I was really moved and touched by the Christ-like approach of Erica Kirk in her comments.
Yeah, everyone get a chance to watch. Every American should watch Erica's speech from last Sunday 10 times in a row. Incredible.
I find my strength in prayer. I find my strength in my wife and my family. I find my strength in the community as a whole. And you all have to, Charlie talked a lot about this. He talked about his journey of faith. You know, that when we were at UVU, the first question that Charlie got was about religion. And they were trying to kind of catch him and trying to say something negative about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and he wouldn't take the bait. And he said, if you're trying to get me to say something negative, I'm not going to. I love people here. We're all on our journey of faith. And so whether it's you or whoever here or somebody who's not here, that's a lifelong journey. That's not something that just, oh yeah, I got it, I achieved it, I checked that box. So I get a lot of strength through the power of prayer. I get a lot of strength from my wife, my family, my kids. I love going out in nature. I love doing wildlife photography when I kind of want to clear my head. You got to all find, I think, that other thing in your life where you can just kind of be at peace, clear your head, get rid of all the stresses of being students, and just go out and find what you enjoy. Find a hobby, do those types of things. So I don't want to be preachy about it, but nobody should have to witness and go through what I went through, what my family and what those 3,000 people went through at UVU. I will never unsee that. I will always feel it. But I also want to tap into it for good and know that it is a fight of good versus evil. And the last thing we can let happen is let evil prevail by having all these good people cower and not step up to the plate and say, yeah, we got numbers. We got numbers. Thank you.
And I want to shout everybody out here, coming out here in just the USA chants that we're just rocking this entire building. That's the response afterwards. It's incredible to watch and witness. And God bless each of you, especially you, for being there that day. We are praying for you every day, just like we are everyone else. So God bless you, my man.
Okay, my name is John, and my question is for Spencer Cox. What role should the state or universities play in combating misinformation after tragic events? And do you support any regulations of AI tools that produce false narratives?
Yeah, thank you. So look, free speech is really important, especially on college campuses. And one of the things I admire most about Charlie was his willingness to go on to college campuses. I don't know that it's the role of a university to police information or misinformation, because the problem is, who gets to decide what is misinformation? We've seen far too often that people tell us something's misinformation, and then it turns out to be true later. So I don't like universities being able to do that. Now, when it comes to artificial intelligence, this is really critical. We're doing something in the state of Utah that it's not being done anywhere else. We have an AI policy lab where we work with companies that are implementing those policies. I do not want government to be involved in the creation of AI or limiting the innovation of AI. We are in an AI arms race with China and Russia right now, and we have to win that. And we need the best innovators in the world here in the United States working on AI. Now, when it comes to the tools that are being used, we have to be involved as a state, and we have to be very careful. But we can't control information or misinformation, but the way those are being used. So right now, for example, there are AI companies that are trying to do therapy with AI. We're going to regulate that. We want to be very careful. These AI chatbots, especially for kids, that I think are absolutely evil, and I think we have to hold these companies accountable that are putting them out. chatbots for kids. I mean, it's disgusting.
Terrible.
So there is a role for the states to play, but again, we have to be very careful with who's controlling the information.
My name's Kennedy Miller, and I have a question for Governor Cox. We are not going to stop talking because of the political assassination that happened to Charlie. So what concrete steps are you and the state going to take to ensure the outdoor debate style of events can still continue on college campuses while ensuring that students are safe?
So again, this is why this attack, I've heard people say, like, well, I heard it here, we shouldn't hold this event. There were a lot of people that said we shouldn't hold this event.
Lots of people, by the way, said cancel this. This is stupid.
That we should not do this. And I said, absolutely not. You have to hold this event, right? I grew up on
By the way, it would have been really easy for any of these guys here to say no to the call to be here, and so I appreciate everyone being here.
Yeah,
a lot.
thanks. Thanks,
We're not wusses here, right? That's at least.
This is why I say that attack was not just an attack on Charlie; it was an attack on all of us, because now we have to think differently than we thought before, and it makes it harder, right? There are people, if we have an outdoor event, who might feel like they don't want to come because they're worried that something could happen, and now we've just killed free speech, right? Because they don't feel like they can show up. So what we have to do is we have to be better. We're working with law enforcement to learn everything we can about what happened there and how we can stop that from happening. So using new technologies, having more security at those events. I hate it. I hate that we have to go through security to get into things because it feels very un-American to me. But I also know that we need to protect not just the people who are on stage, but the people who are out in this audience tonight. We're going to keep people safe so that we can keep doing this. We're not going to let the terrorists win.
What practical steps do you plan to take, or you think the government should take, when it comes to higher education not evolving into indoctrination camps?
I like what Margaret Thatcher said. She said, first you need to win the argument, then you can go win the votes. But when you're talking specifically about somebody who becomes so radicalized, somebody who becomes so perverted in their thinking, somebody who is, there are people that see that and hear that and feel that, and they see it. And we have to watch out for those. Those are our friends, those are our neighbors. It's not, law enforcement does an amazing job, but they can't be everywhere to everything. It goes to this question earlier about mental health. You know, we have a long, long ways to go to assessment and how we treat it. And I don't want to oversimplify it. Again, it also, I think, goes back to this degree of tolerism, that I just think there's some things, some actions, some places that are just, we should not tolerate them. And we should not put up with them. And we shouldn't have to live with them. And there has to be a way to balance their constitutional rights with our right for freedom, right? I'm wearing this shirt, right? Freedom, right? Yes. Freedom is also your ability to live the life that you want to lead, the way you want to lead it. We're all children of God. And if we start with that premise that we're all children of God, we can deal with it compassionately, but it doesn't mean we have to tolerate some of the things that are being spewed. And when it crosses over that line to not just hatred, but it crosses over the line to say, oh, we're going to act out and thrash out in violence, those people need to be arrested. They need to be detained. They need to be booked. And some of them need to be incarcerated. So that has to happen, and it's not happening now. Nationally, locally, it's just not.
Tyler, can I just bring up something on that one, Tyler?
Sorry, what?
Is that okay? So I want to bring up something because you specifically asked about universities, right, and college. And one of the things that I've been most concerned about over the past couple of decades is the lack of thought diversity on college campuses. It's deeply troubling. And I want to give a shout out again to the legislature. We worked very closely with Utah State University on something that I think is groundbreaking. It will, over the next couple of years, it will be in every university in the state. But we're going to start teaching Western thought again to all of our freshmen in this is not I want to be very careful. This is not conservative thought. We're not trying to replace forcing liberal ideas on all of our students with conservative ideas. This is the founding of Western thought. These are the great books. This is Aristotle. These are the Stoics. This is Marcus Aurelius. It's the great British philosophers and the Scottish philosophers. These are the people that, and it's our founders. These are the people that our founders relied on to start this great nation. This is what Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass and Martin Luther King, this is what all of us studied in college until about 20 years ago, when it just became whatever you want to do is fine with us. And that's not okay. We have to have a foundation to even have these debates. And we've lost that foundation, and we're getting that foundation back here in the state of Utah.